All right, just left my dealer the other day and noticed some shocking new prices at the steel dealership. I, some of this, like on the outside, might seem like these are tariff motivated increases. Let's dig in a little bit deeper and see if this is really about tariffs, and let's look at the history of these price increases and see if there's really anything out of the ordinary here. So historically speaking, most corporations will take a price increase around the first of the year. And whoever is the big dog. So let's say if you're dealing in, beer, then Anheuser-Busch takes an increase. A couple of weeks later, Miller Coors follows suit with an increase. And then pretty much, things are stable. But what we saw through the pandemic was multiple increases in a year, and everybody was just going. So I documented a little bit of this, and I don't do it, monthly, quarterly, or whatever, but there were, I believe, in 2022, 4 increases into the first part of 2023. They're all $20 here, $30 here, $20 here, $40 here, and that's where we've gotten ourselves today.
All right, so we went by the larger local steel dealer. I don't remember, those things were like $279, $299. That's just for Loy MS 250. Great little saw. These are kind of, I think Bodie tested one of these. It was absolutely terrible. 201 TC, still at 909. That didn't go up as much. 1019 for a 362. 1149 for a 400. 1509 for a 462. Oof. That's how much the blowers are. BR 800s are 649. Doesn't look like there's that much of an increase there. And good old trusty PR 600s are still only 549. It's up just a little bit, but nothing crazy. I did notice something. I tested one of these a long time ago when they're out. That's an awful lot for a 16 to 20 inch battery saw. TS420. I think that's up a little bit as well. I think they used to be $12.50 maybe. No pricing here on the 572 anywhere in the shelf or anywhere around. That's like an Echo sticker or something. Same thing with the 592. I don't see any pricing on the homeowner stuff up there. And the Echo stuff, so 2511T, that's where we're at. 4510. Still a great deal for a 355. That number hasn't changed. What about the CS590? What a great value for a good little saw. And 7310. They've come into their, well, that's not a 7310. That's a 7310. Blowers are up $50.
Let's have a look at my NASA generated spreadsheet here. So in August 15 of 2022, a video documented that the 201 TC, their premier climbing saw, was $799. There was a $100 increase by 2024, and we've seen another $100 increase current pricing today. 661 was $1,500. It was $1,539. Earlier this year, it was like $1,650, and I probably should have made, or 16 and a quarter. So there was a $100 increase at the beginning of this year, and now it's at $1,739. The very first 500i that I bought when they came out was like $1,275, and that would have been in like 2021. In 2022, they were $1,500.19. Last year, they were $1,609, and now they're $1,749. It goes on and on and on. So I'll put in Let's take a look at 362 because I want to talk about that. Let's see. In February 25, another YouTuber wrote down that these were $9.49, and they are up to, where are you at? Yeah, they're still at $9.49. In 25, they were $8.39. Oh crap, wrong one. They were $9.09, and now they are $1,019. So that's $9.09 in 24, $9.49 in early 25, and July it's $10.19 for that same saw. Okay, so here we've got a letter from chairman of the advisory board, and it says here in the third paragraph, despite ongoing economic and political uncertainties, I'm looking forward to the coming year with confidence. With our clear strategy and collective effort, we will overcome new challenges and uncover new opportunities along the way. In 2025, we expect to further strengthen our market position. I think that means increased pricing, and create positive momentum through our investments in innovation and sustainability. Through the pandemic years, outdoor power equipment as a whole, I don't care if it was, you know, lawnmowers or weed eaters or whatever. While everybody was on lockdown, everyone wanted to do stuff to their house. So Stihl, Husky, Echo, Briggs & Stratton, Honda, all of these outdoor power companies that do stuff to make your yard look better had the best run of the history of their company. I mean, they were the boom years. I couldn't keep product on the shelves fast enough. Everything's flying out of there. And along with that, we saw increases. Supply chain demand's gone down, issues, but prices still continue to go up. This isn't, I promise you, this isn't about tariffs. This might be a little vindictive tariff abuse. So if you say, all right, if you look at the first number of the serial number of your Stihl piece of equipment, that very first number is going to tell you the country of manufacture. And Stihl's got a list online, and they manufacture globally. They got plants in China where they make stuff. They have stuff in Brazil. They have stuff here in the States. And not to discredit, they make a ginormous amount of equipment here in the US in Virginia Beach. And a lot of that's handheld, like stick equipment, weed eaters, things of that nature. Typically, all of the professional grade saws, the 201, the 260, the 201, the 462, the 500i, and the 661, and the 880s of the world, those have all historically been made solely in Germany. They'll all have a number 1 for the country code. The 362s and the 261s, that's a mix. They're not exclusive to Germany for manufacture. This one right here, serial number starts with a 5. I don't know why, but we have 2 country codes for the US, 2 and 5. So if your equipment starts with a 2 or it starts with a 5, it's made here in the US. This saw was made in the US. Most of the 362s are made in the US. So how come they got the same percentage increase as the ones that are solely made in Germany? How's that? You follow me? Hope you're still with me. Let's dig into a little bit more. All right, so you can see here their annual revenue for 2022 was basically 5.5 billion euro, then down to 5.3, and now just a tick above 5.3 for 2024. And just to show you, so in 2020, before all this nonsense happened, their annual revenue was 4.5 billion euros. So they're up about 1 billion euros. So 2021 was a $500 million increase to 5 billion. And that's we saw that huge spike in 2022 when the lockdowns were here. Most of the various steel markets, for metals, we're back down to pre-pandemic, and this graph pretty much mimics most of the steel products that are tracked. That's a 10-year chart. So I guess what I'm getting at, we're paying, I think it was like $95 for a 25-inch bar at my steel dealer, earlier this year. They're incredibly expensive. We seem to get pitched a bunch, and I could be completely wrong. I'm just some dumb redneck that fixes chainsaw that works out of his basement, okay? You know how things always go up, they don't seem to come back down? you know, or maybe it comes down a little bit. I was at the steel dealership the other day and I was picking up some lawnmower parts for a customer, and the dude next to me just needed a rim sprocket. You know, a rim sprocket. They charged him with tax like $19.76 or something crazy. Look, I buy these through Husqvarna. My dealer cost is like $4.20 a piece. Their dealership cost should probably be about the same. You know, how do we get to 20 bucks for that? You know, people are just getting greedy and using excuses to make things expensive. Or are they really that expensive? You know, just in my basement. What you discuss?